Good evening, and Team Polkadot India welcomes you all to DotFriday, an NFT chapter. And I wish you all an exciting, insightful evening ahead. To start off with, let's get to know you all a little better. So it would be great if you could take that poll you see. Now, Polkadot India is a pan-India community for Substrate developers, entrepreneurs, investors, students, and even simply blockchain or crypto enthusiasts. So at DotFriday, we bring to you all kinds of conversations with global leaders to help you in your blockchain journeys. And starting this month, we are also kickstarting Substrate Saturday, a monthly bootcamp series exclusively for developers wanting to learn Substrate and Rust from foundation levels, and even learn to and build their own projects over time. So if you're a developer and are keen on learning the fundamentals of blockchain, Substrate, and Rust, register with us. And for our developers, we also have an exclusive channel on Discord. So if you are a developer, fill in the form as in the chat box and do join in. And now it gives me great pleasure to call upon my boss, mentor, friend, and of course, the founder of Polkadot India to kickstart this evening and introduce and welcome you all to the NFT chapter of DotFriday. Welcome, Amit, and they're all yours.
Thank you so much, Ananya. Hello, everybody, and it's a pleasure to invite you one more time to DotFriday. It's the 4th edition that we're running right now. I would like to quickly walk you through the journey of how we got started over here, what are we planning today, perhaps what's in store in the coming months and a few quarters of the entire Polkadot India plan and roadmap. So at Polkadot India, we are working on building a community of developers, entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, folks that are interested in building on top of the interoperable chain that Polkadot is. We guys ourselves are working on building a protocol on Polkadot. And while building it, we realized that there is a very strong need for a community, especially within India, which could support each other out while building projects like these. And that motivated us to kickstart this particular community. We all come from a background of community building. So there are members in our team who hosted India's first blockchain hackathon. There is Saurabh from the blockchain school who's running a fairly big blockchain specific community already. Samkit is also over here from Hack to Skill. So I have built one of India's largest startup communities. So given all this background, we felt that we could really do and create a lot within India, supporting developers, supporting entrepreneurs that want to build decentralized solutions working on Polkadot by getting them all together, getting them to collaborate, and even providing the resources and structures for people to identify a problem, build a blockchain solution around it. So there are 3 different sets that we are currently focusing on. Developers remains the primary area where we would love to make a contribution. However, it's particularly challenging to do structured and focused events for developers. Now, it's not something that you can give a tutorial in a single day and people get can build something meaningful out of it. So it needs to be an engaged program that spans multiple months. Even the hackathons that we guys will do in the future will be lasting multiple weeks. So there is something set for you guys, which will be announced later this evening, which is called Substrate Saturday. While starting our journey, trying to solve the problems of developers in the ecosystem, we realized that developers don't stand independently. They don't come up with necessarily all the cool ideas that need to be built. So we must also pull in together other members of the ecosystem, especially the creatives, the entrepreneurs, the investors who are going to be funding some of these entrepreneurs, all of them together. And so we've started building a founders community as well. Folks who have an idea, they want to take it to the market, and there are some programs that we are creating for them. And folks who are already building on Polkadot within India, of course, we would like them to be a part of this community, help each other out, help the next generation learn from their mistakes and grow. Last but not the least, many of you today and vast majority of people get exposed to crypto via trading. They enthusiastically pick up new technologies that are hot, and they learn about different kind of tokens that exist, DOT being one of them. And these are the people that we invite with open arms as well. At some point in time, we would see them convert maybe as investors or maybe as entrepreneurs as well. So if you are an Indian, even if you're not an Indian, but if you're interested in blockchain and crypto, particularly curious or serious about Polkadot, this is the place to be. Right now, we guys have two properties. One is called DotFriday, which is the event that you're participating in today. It's a webinar series. We invite some people who've been there, done that, in terms of building their crypto products, blockchain products, into this kind of a series. We also have, could you go back to the previous slide, please? Yeah, we also have Substrate Saturday, which will be a bootcamp series for developers. And going forward, we will be, attempting to do a hackathon quarterly. It really depends on the kind of engagement that we're able to drive from within the community. At some point in time in the future, we will also have, in maybe the third or fourth quarter of 2022, we'll have like a fairly large event, which will invite the who's who from the Polkadot ecosystem globally, and we'll do a big bang conference, COVID permitting, offline here in India. We'll fly down speakers from everywhere and probably do a series of events and hackathons and showcase many of India's innovative Polkadot projects in that particular conference. And in late 2022, 2023, we intend to start monetizing some of the community building activities that we are doing over here. We will build something in the lines of a Lambda school, wherein we will get some talented youngsters, students, or young professionals. We take them through a 6-month curriculum, an internship with one of the world's top Polkadot projects, being a part of that program, and eventually get them placed, and we'll charge a fee for it. We will also create our own recruitment consultancy of sorts to help developers from India get jobs in Polkadot projects in India and across the world. Beyond that, we definitely look forward to creating our own fund to help fund many of the projects that are emerging out of this community. And it's like a pretty interesting road beyond that. We would totally love to build a DAO, and the mechanisms of the same will be figured out as this community emerges. And we are really grateful for all of you guys who are the early supporters and backers of the efforts that we guys are putting in over here. I'm definitely doing it in a voluntary capacity, and I invite some of you all to at least become volunteers over here as well. We've got a fantastic team, led by Varun on the technical side, Harsha, on the program management side, Shreya and Prashant who are helping with the research. Ananya is, your host and MC, and she is handling all our corporate partnerships. Braja, who's an investor, is handling investor relations. Samkit from Hack to Skill, is partnering, helping many of Indian colleges and the students come on to this community, and Saurabh, getting a bunch of, blockchain developers also align on, the efforts that we're putting in together over here as a community. So that's about Polkadot India, and I'd hand it over to my colleague Ananya to take things forward from here. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Amit. It's glad to be a part of Polkadot India, and things are looking great ahead with your vision in action. So thanks, and let's keep the game going, right? So NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, right? What are they? So non-fungible means simply non-replaceable, or in other words, that which is only one of a kind. So as simple as saying each token is unique and can be bought only once ever. Needless to say, NFTs have taken the world by storm, and with the crazy designs going around, I'm sure even you might have thought once about designing or launching your own. So let's hear it from the very people who made it happen and how their journeys have been. Please note that if you have any questions for our guests this evening, you may tweet us and tag us with #DotFriday, and we'll get all the legit questions answered by our guests. So to start off this NFT chapter of DotFriday, what better than starting off with its evolution story? Platinum Software Development Company is a time-proven team of high-class engineers who develop various IT, blockchain, and crypto-related projects. They even do smart contract audits, they do Solidity, Rust, Substrate engineering, and also build complex DeFi solutions. A blockchain architect lead, a passionate entrepreneur, and a skilled negotiator, Today we have with us the CEO and co-founder of Platinum Software, Anton Dziatkovskii. Anton, it's an absolute honor to have you with us, and the Polkadot community thanks you for the constant enthusiasm you have for us to grow. So a hearty welcome to you, and over to you for all you have to share with us tonight.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here today. So many people here. Yeah, even I took a T-shirt, NFT. I made.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I have 20 minutes and then 10 minutes for answers. So there are two guys who will present today, me and Vlad. I'm living currently in Australia, Vlad in Europe. I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if you can see it.
Yes.
So very briefly about our company. I'll try to be as fast as possible. So we are working since 2015 and we are blockchain developers. We came to blockchain from data science, and in 2015 we just how we came to crypto. In 2015 we did a lot of stuff for banks, creating a lot of sophisticated scoring and data analytics for banks, for underwriting, for understanding of credit worthiness of the borrowers and so on. But because we've been decentralized, not because we love decentralization, but because we just being a startup, so we used Bitcoin just to pay salaries. And Vlad, he still remembers the time when we paid salaries in Bitcoin. So and after we start to more and more dive deep into crypto, and then we wrote our first smart contract and so on. So you can see the guys on our website. All they are real guys. We are total 120 people right now in our team. So for example, Garik, he's a really genius in creating algorithmic market making bots, decentralized bots, which could work on one each Uniswap or any decentralized exchange. The stacks we are working on, you can see, because we are currently on Polkadot Summit, we do love Rust and we know how to work on Substrate. But however, we can also code on Solidity, Golang, Viper, Haskell. So even we try to do some stuff on Cardano. And there are a lot of another stacks we're working on. And it was a hard time to survive crypto winter. So we survived crypto winter because we used to have a lot of B2B customers. One of our co-founders, he's a Japanese, ex-Bloomberg, 11 years in Bloomberg, in Bloomberg Tokyo. And he brought us a lot of good deals, and you can scroll here and find a lot of quite notable guys. The biggest our customers so far probably are Japanese Airlines, Mindle, Asubimo, game industry, K-pop industry, and so on. And sometimes customers giving us some feedbacks, and sometimes media also writing about us. And we also member of different associations like British Blockchain Association, Crypto Valley in Switzerland, BBA, top developers, and so on. So now about NFT. So on our call, Vlad, could you turn on your camera, if possible? I will stop.
Hi guys. Hey guys.
Yeah, so Vlad, we're working since 2017 together. Vlad is our chief editor, plus he is in charge of creating narrative and story around all NFTs we are doing right now. So maybe Vlad, could you share your screen and explain to our audience, respected audience, different NFTs, different projects we supported. So it's very important. We as a platform, we just dev incubator. So many projects coming to us, and we advising them how to build. Sometimes we build just to create some stuff and make it open sourced, because we would like to keep some track in this world, just leave something in this world to contribute to society. We're not a greedy bastards. We just want to create some really cool stuff. For example, I love Polkadot, and the reason why I love Polkadot, because on Polkadot you can find a lot of open source product, and all the Polkadots are about open source. Talking about Solana, let's try to find on Solana any open source backend. You will never find anything, because Solana guys, they're greedy. They don't want to share what they created. However, we are working on Rust, and we're working on Solana, we're working on Polkadot. Even we have some requests to do some stuff on Near. We recently got grant from Near, and we are quite well on Solidity in EVM chains. So what we'll tell you today, we'll not tell you how to create NFTs. We are limited in time, but we will create how to sell it. I guess it's also quite important to create NFT. Probably there are a lot of frameworks appearing right now on any chain. So what Vlad could share with you, how to create a nice story around, where to find audience, and then how to sell. Vlad, your turn.
Yeah, hello guys. I hope you're doing well. So today I wanted to share some information about the main green and red flags within the creation of your collection. So actually, I don't know the level of the, I would say, development experience in you guys. So if you want to know more, for example, some technical side or something like this, just write us and we will just consult you and do a lot of stuff with you if you want. And it's absolutely for free. So we like to share our how it's experience, and all the development stuff we are doing is open source. So you are welcomed. So I will just demonstrate my screen. Wait a sec. I'm just I will tell you about our experience in the NFT collections, and right now we're going to launch the one of our NFT collections in Polygon chain, and so we're just multi-chaining our NFT experience right now. So the first stuff which I wanted to say, Anthony said the right thing. You need to create a story around your NFT, and actually the two possible main goals you need to achieve. The first one is to create a story to attract your audience, and the second one is to make it utility proven to just hold your audience within your project, and try to give them a real power of the real power of voting, real power of usage of your NFTs, and it can help you in other activities with such a great audience. So I will show you the first example. I will show you it was our first, I suppose, experience we've got in the collaboration for the NFT 256 collaboration.
I have a couple of words. So we found guys who used to work for a very big company, which create a lot of cartoons and movies. And these guys, it's collaboration of roughly 300 different designers. So they're working part-time on this big Hollywood company, and these guys been paid very low. So we met, somewhere, and we just decided to create an NFT collection, and we decided to share profit. And because they're great artists, we are good coders, we created this collaboration. So we gave money to designers, because even Hollywood companies paying like really pennies, and what really NFT is disrupting, now artists could really gain money. It's very important.
Yeah, so actually my main point here was that if you're just a developer and you don't have, for example, a team of designers or just one creative guy, you can collaborate with anyone in the sphere, and these guys will help you to just outreach your audience or something like this. So if you have just an idea to the or to your NFT, guys, it's on the space team. Yep, and the story behind them is pretty much interesting. They're all aliens or human-like guys who just live in the one central station. And for the idea, they came that these heroes will be part of the big game called Tidus Heroes, if you know. So they had a bunch of hype in the internet and so on. But we want.
It's also a very important point. The collection Vlad is just showing you right now, it's a fake collection which created by some scammers. So yes, it's a quite sad. Yeah, I just sent in a mutual group link to proper link. So when you deploy something cool, there will be a lot of guys who are copying you and trying to sell the same stuff you are selling cheaper. But if you will have enough good enough volume, you'll get some badge on OpenSea, which will prove that you are like original guys. So
So as we said that you should have some story behind it or product behind it. So we came up with our, we have multi-chain leverage decentralized exchange, and we've decided to support it with some other NFTs. So the platform called Monitor, so like margin and trading, so and Minotaur, and those guys went up to the whole story. We've got lore, we had community, and if we just how would say we've got, for example, I suppose we've got 30 or 40,000 people in the just main product, and we've just, when we started to make lore, when we just started to make some interesting stuff with the explanation of the verse of the of these creatures and so on, we've got plus, I suppose, 50,000 people who were interested in the story, who were interested in the NFTs, and we made a separate NFT collection, which will be, so right now it's on the in the Ethereum network, and we've just decided to put it into the Polygon chain. So the main collection was looked like this, these guys.
Sorry for interruption. You should tell guys what is a lore about.
So it's a history behind the metaverse, behind the personage, and behind the whole world you are just creating, and with your personages. So our guy was a little just monitor. He grown up in the cruel world, so the crypto is a cruel world, and we just associated this cruel world with the how to say, the crypto stuff, like crypto winters, like dark forest of Ethereum, or dark forest of how to say, crypto, and some struggles with the SEC, for example. So the opportunities which staking or other DeFi services brings to people. So this story just shows how just every crypto guy is walking through the from the start of the, how would say, the crypto world till the moon. So we will just provide this history when we've just launched the blockchains. We will continue this stuff, and when we just launched the main collection I've showed you before, so we decided to expand it on the Polygon chain, on other chains. And for example, for the Polygon chain, we've decided to go for the just simple stuff, because those collection was pretty much, I would say, complicated within the generation stuff and others. We decided to make it more easier. So we go to these guys. So soon they will be on Polygon. They're cute and just, and we've actually like the Polygon chain for its cheapness, and absolutely almost gas-free. And I suppose those guys will go up from the minimal price, for example, or even just for free for the community, and it will hold the story on the new level of the, how to say, of the back part, because you can just not have only the major monitor, but kind of a baby. Yeah, for the adult guys, we're planning some girls, Marna girls for our main personage. But the next big stuff you need to have in your backpack is the utility of the token and utility of your NFT. So we think that, for example, we're thinking that the main primitives you should definitely have. It's staking with NFT, and if you are just a good coder or you have a big, for example, team, you can go up to the stuff like gaming, and I suppose it's one of the ideal stuff to play games with your NFTs. So right now we're working within the how would say with the utility. So you can see that this is a native coin because of the monitor is staked. You can just provide the staking ability as the staking, how to say, feature into the right, how would say, interface. It can be gaming interface, it cannot be gaming interface, but if you just do it, it will be more friendly, and you can just saying that you can just make an effort to make mass adoption for the crypto, for the NFTs, and it's quite good to to provide your audience with the ability to just use your NFT, not just placing it into your profile picture. So actually what we're doing right now, it's some utilities with gaming. So it's like just simple stuff. And if you see the lower part, so these backgrounds are present on the NFTs, yes. So you need to connect your lower part and your utility part in one just simple ecosystem, and you will be able just to make some stuff is going on. So we're planning to make many stuff with it. So you can just expand your, how would say, your metaverse, the happy word, your metaverse, and just to make things going better. So these two keys, the utility and the backend part, will make your community happy, I suppose. So if we're, I don't know, should I say how would say the steps within the creating the NFTs? So the optimal whitelist checklist for the launching your NFT is just to provide the idea, gather the community. So the community can be gathered beforehand of your creating. You can just ask your community to provide your ideas, because these guys, the most of the traits for these guys we've got from the community, from their wishes and from their desires. So you can just so the first one is idea. The second one is just gathering the community. If your community is not so big, for example, a couple of hundreds or thousands of people, do not be, how would say, upset, because people will share if the idea is great and if the artwork is cute, for example. Your community will grow up very quickly. After this, you need to make a smart contract. So the smart contract can be simple, just minting the NFT and that's all. And it can be a little bit more complicated, because you can just make some whitelisting stuff and so on. This is not very, how would say, complicated in terms of the Solidity development, but you need to keep it in mind. For example, for this collection, we've made 990 monitors, and this collection is divided by squadrons for 555. So these guys are divided into squadrons, and each squadrons costs more than each other, and we had to provide this, how to say, utility, just this feature into the smart contract actually. And if we are going, for example, deeper, you can sacrifice, for example, you need to upgrade your NFTs, or they had metadata which should be upgradable. So you need to just think about these mechanics, because even the upgrading your creature can be done in several ways. For example, sacrificing it like this, like in this project. So you just need to burn your token, NFT token, and then go to, how to say, and then make it more, make another one with different traits. For example, this one, we can just personalize your monitor within your face, for example. The other stuff, you can just make updates on the metadata with your IPFS link. And this is quite a little bit tricky because only, for example, OpenSea provides the full support of metadata changes, and other guys, other marketplaces, if you don't have your own marketplace, doesn't provide such an ability.
I have a question. For example, I created NFT, like sold NFT. First of all, you should tell guys what kind of sales channels working. From my personal opinion, Discord and Clubhouse, right? No Twitter, no Telegram, right? Telegram, like
yeah. So in terms of the communication channels, Discord is how to say, it's the main channel for the communicating with your people, because you can say that it's your people and you are just part of the community. And for the guys who are just came into you, so the big deal is Clubhouse is in some way YouTube channels, but in a small sort of way. But you can just take the note that guys from the Clubhouse, so it's just like US guys and European guys, so they like to hear what you are doing, ask you questions and so on.
US guys, they're really very strong holders. Probably because when you sell the NFT, you decide to sell NFT very cheap, and so you also probably didn't mention about what kind of should be the price of NFT. NFT should be like super affordable, like $100, $200, right? $300. It should be like very cheap for an average.
Yeah. So we have just spotted some few collections, for example, a few NFTs or collections which costs more than, I suppose, $1,000 or $2,000 in counting. But it's ridiculous because the effort you put into the NFT should be more than its cost. Because you're just expecting that it will be grow in price and so on. If it will definitely, if it how to say, brings the value to the community.
Well, I think let's go to if our colleagues who organize this event.
Yeah.
If you're okay, definitely. Let's go to the questions and answers. I think it will be more important to answer questions than just talk.
Sure. Great. So I think to start off with, one question would be, just a second. I think there's some disturbance. Yeah, one question would be, so while we're talking about building the community, it's great to know which are the right platforms to build the community in. But how do you ensure the community is building right, like the right people are joining? With these days, the risk of bots and it being quite commercial out there. How do you ensure that the numbers are legit?
So the first way to just engage the right community is why we've just have spoken about the Discord. You can make and you can implement bots in this Discord to just how to say, outsort the wrong guys, the bots, and so on. So just the simple measures just to enter your community without any scam or bots or advertising. And actually, Discord channels are quite, until you're just going public, I mean, the status of your Discord server, so nobody can just join it without the link. And this is, I suppose, the greatest thing right now for the community. And other stuff, you can just implement the bot. It's open source again in Discord, and you can check the wallets from your users who have the NFT on their wallet. And this is, I suppose, the most interesting stuff. So you can just create, like flat channel where everyone can come in and stay, just discuss anything. And you can make a closed DAO community who definitely has your NFT, and they can decide the the development of your project. So we're just using for the DAO questions. We're using Snapshot, and it's eligible to see the to use your NFT in voting, and it cost you nothing actually. Just you need just to implement your project, find the strategy, and use it. That's all.
Okay.
It does. Yeah, it doesn't upload it. I don't know why.
That's great. I think that answers it for me definitely, and I hope that does it for you guys too. The next question, guys, would be: so, are there any downside to NFTs, and if yes, what are those?
Repeat this again. Downsides?
Yes. In your views, what would be the downsides to the NFTs?
In other words, how could an NFT project go wrong? Perhaps that'll be an important thing.
Yeah.
With NFT projects.
So do not promise what you can't do. Yeah. So many projects creating, for example, cool stuff in terms of the visuals of the NFTs, and they just promise everything. We will sell merch and just divide the profit with you guys. We will just make a game, for example, or we will make, I don't know what, or we will make, for example, a closed DAO community in which you can just go to the insights and other stuff. But if it's not, realized in just some short period of time, or just through the roadmap you've just presented, so your collection your community will just leave you. The other stuff, for example, for the economical side, if you just want to your community to go well with trading and so on, please do not provide a lot of bounties and so on. It will bring you not quality community, but community within the, but will undervalue your impact to the market. So it's like with usual tokens, for example, fungible tokens. If you just throw away, for example, 10% of your or 20% of your, cap, you will be punished by the market. Actually, what else should be? What the downside will be? If you just I don't know. Maybe that's all. I suppose. Just do what you do, and just make your promises get real.
Right.
And that's
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Great.
So if you don't want to make some difficult stuff, you are just selling, for example, the images, like beautiful images or not beautiful or just crappy. It's okay. You can say that to the community, and a lot of guys in our society who just love to buy pictures and just use them as the profile picture. It's okay. Yeah. But you have less chances with guys who just have the utility.
Right. Great. I think one final question for both of you. So one of the current challenges of NFTs is that the assets, which may be image, video, or audio lately, they can be rather large in file size. So what most developers do is that they store that asset off chain. And this means that the actual media NFT is not on the blockchain and that it's just referencing the file hosted on some other service. So the problem with this is that if the service provider goes down or the original NFT marketplace goes out of business, the actual asset that you have created or behind your NFT would be lost, right? So is this problem being tackled in any way, or what are your views on this particular aspect?
So my point of view that right now, nowadays, you have no guarantees that, if you're, even if you're just, how would say, metadata as a picture or a video file is placed into the blockchain itself, for example, within the IPFS system or something like this, actually, you haven't the guarantees that it will be, how would say, stay in life forever. For example, there are a lot of chains, just developing chains like, I don't know, just young one, yeah, like on layer 2 solution or something like this. They're just trying to make their effort to the community, saying that they're implementing NFTs and so on. For example, I don't know, for example, take up, for example, Solana network. They have a Phantom wallet, which, for example, shows you NFTs and so on and trades inside your wallet. Okay, it's great stuff, but imagine that, for example, in one day, the, I don't know, nodes and, for example, or management team decides to leave the blockchain, and, for example, the community will just, decided to leave the chain. So what will you do when the nodes, for example, will not work? So nobody. So, but I suppose that storing your, how would say, metadata on the centralized service, just to, how would say, negotiate the size of the file. I suppose it's fine solution, actually, because you need just to, you cannot be I would say to be in a closed room, in your closed blockchain. You need to interact with other, how would say, technical architecture, cloud, I don't know, cloud services, cloud hostings, just usual service and so on. It's okay. And you need to provide your audience the knowledge about this. There is no pure blockchain actually right now in the world, I suppose. No pure stuff. So if this is pure stuff, because, for example, I love Avigoche very much. Yeah, I like how do they make it on Polygon working. They're just pure on blockchain, but they have difficulties, I suppose, within the, how would say, in comparison with guys who are just separately, not separately, but not fully on blockchain, because they cannot just make some stuff, interesting stuff with them. So I suppose this is, and mini games that they are providing, they are not on the blockchain. They are just simple JavaScript or something like this.
Yeah, sure.
Like I showed you this guy, yeah. So we use NFT just to implement it into the game, but the game is not on the, it's Unity game. It's not in the, in the blockchain, because you cannot make all the stuff on the blockchain. it will be ridiculous.
Right. Yeah. I think that is a wise solution ahead for this. So yeah, thanks. Thank you so much, Anton and Vlad. This was highly insightful and mighty kind of you to share all of it to the very detail. I'm sure it will help us best build our own NFT projects someday, maybe. So we'll be glad to stay in touch and pick your brains for the road ahead sometime, maybe. So thanks a bunch.
Thank you, Daniel, for inviting us.
Yeah. Any questions, just go and PM us, and we will just help.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Great. So yes, so guys, if you have any further questions for Anton or Vlad or the upcoming speakers, do reach out to us on Twitter with #DotFriday and we shall definitely get them answered for you. Now, Polkafantasy is the best Japanese NFT cross-chain marketplace and multiverse game built for NFT lovers by NFT enthusiasts. Now, inspired by Japanese animation, comics, and games, that's the ACG culture, Polkafantasy is an immersive platform to discover, create, trade, and interact with any digital collectible. So, taking us through his journey and what it takes to build a thriving NFT marketplace is the dynamic founder of Polkafantasy himself, Alex Hui. Alex, it's fantastic to have you with us, and over to you for what you have with us for us tonight.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for having me. So, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. Okay, let me, okay, I'm Alex, and I'm the founder and the CEO of Polkafantasy. So let me share with you about what is Polkafantasy and why I started this NFT project, and at the same time, okay, why I love Polkadot so much. That's why I'm here, okay? So let me share with you, okay, here. So can you all see the screen?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, cool, very cool. Okay, so Polkafantasy, as you can imagine, well, this is Japanese theme NFT cross-chain marketplace and multiverse game. Okay, it's not a metaverse game here because I will tell you why later. Okay, there is a meaning of it. So anyhow, so I started this project actually almost at the beginning of this year, and well, I've been in crypto for actually quite some time. And when I look around the space, I'm quite surprised to find that, well, there are so many amazing marketplaces, amazing NFT projects out there. But at the same time, well, there is something missing. When we know that maybe at one point in your time, you may have enjoyed Japanese animation, pop culture, or like games, right? But if you look around the blockchain space, there is nothing much really focus on the Japanese animation, comic, and game culture. So this really inspired me because, well, actually, the market size itself is like hundreds of billions dollars per year. So I was thinking, okay, why not bring this concept into the blockchain and then do something about it? So that's the inspiration of this Polkafantasy. So you may ask about, okay, why the name of Polkafantasy? So, well, we love Polkadot. So obviously Polka means polka dot. And I love, Japanese game. And one of the most famous game is called Final Fantasy. So I just combined two words into one and it's run okay. So it's called Polkafantasy. Okay. So we try to run it very fast so that I give you a high level description of what it is about. So everything you see here, the art is all original. So everything here is made by our artists. So of course, in this project, well, you are not only a community member. Actually, you are one of the heroes who united the fragment rhyme of the blockchain worlds. So you will become one of the heroes in the project and will build this project with us together. This is the concept of Polkafantasy. So we all know that there are a lot of problems in blockchain. So the gas fee is very high, and then there is limited NFT utilities. And of course, as I said, the Japanese culture is very popular, but there is nothing much in crypto space that focus on it. And of course, we have a lot of things let's say we don't have like a lot of crypto wallets which really focus on the NFT. Many wallets is like they are crypto wallet and they have NFT feature, but they are not NFT wallet with crypto feature. The difference is very important here. Just bear with me about here for a second. And then, of course, the solution here is we want to build Japanese theme NFT marketplace and the game. And we want to offer the diverse functionality of the NFT as well. And of course, we'll have staking, we'll have like a crypto wallet. We actually want to build the best GameFi system out there. This is our vision. So we'll have an NFT game, and actually next week we'll have some big announcement on, like, let's say our UI on the system that we're going to implement. And then we have our NFT wallet, which will launch in January. And we have a marketplace, which already launched last week. And then we have a very successful grand launch. And we'll have a Polygon and then BSC integration in Jan as well. So the gas fee will be much lower, and then more people can join, creators can really mint their NFT with this. So we have a lot of NFT utilities. Here are some of them. We actually keep a lot of them up our sleeves so that we can really surprise the community when they come out. And for the XP utility, which is our tokens, of course you can stake XP for further XP, and then you can use the XP, our token, to buy packs, let's say loot box, which will popularly in January. And then you can use it to upgrade the NFT, which is one of the very cool feature that we really look up forward to. And then we will have a governance, and then of course with XP you are one of the you can get some trade discount. And maybe I should explain what's the name XP means. It's called experience point. So basically, when you pay RPG, you want to gain some experience point. So actually you get the inspiration from that and then use the word XP for our token. And we'll have the XPBSC bridge in January, and then so people will be more easy to trade the XP on, let's say, Pancake Swap. We actually have it on Ethereum right now, and then people can get it on the Uniswap. So for the roadmap, you can go to our website and take a look, and then we'll have a lot of things happening in January this year. And then we actually have a very successful launch so far. And our token, let's say, jumped a lot when we launched, almost 100x. So so we have all these beautiful illustrations, and it's all done by our talented Japanese artists. Some of them are very, very famous. And you see, this is the NFT we have, and we have a very successful NFT launch. And we actually sold more than $10 million of NFT so far in 2 months. And then here is our new character, which is done by our very talented Japanese team. And then actually they can move. So if you go to our Twitter, go to our Telegram, you can see them with all these effects moving, and they will be available very soon as well. And actually we have much more characters in the pipeline, and then we will release it by January. Yeah. So a lot of surprises coming up. So we have a lot of partners, and we partners with Polygon, we partners with Chainlink, Chain Guardians, Network, Mutable X, and then the list is growing, and we really love to be partnered with a lot of amazing projects, especially while I think there are a lot of excellent projects in this panel, and I really look forward to talk to you guys. And yeah, I think a lot of good yes. And I think there were a lot of things that we can do. I think in NFT space, it's blue ocean. Definitely, we have a lot of collaboration that we can be doing. So I really look forward to work with visionary leaders like all of you, and then to really expand the blockchain space to community. And then we have a lot of good investors, and then they help us to really grow our community, and also to give us exposure, support, and we really appreciate that. So our team members, I really want to talk about team members a little bit. Well, we have team members from, let's say, Square Enix, the maker of Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, the ex-COO of Square Enix is our advisor, and we actually talk almost daily. And the anime advisor is Iwata Keisuke, and he is the guy from Tokyo, TV Tokyo. And he's, I think you guys, if you love animation, Pokemon and Evangelion. Actually, the TV series of Evangelion and Pokemon is done by him. So we really can collect a lot of great IPs. And the game advisor, Ohata, he's from SNK. SNK is famous for King of Fighters, Metal Slug, very famous game. And we have a lot of great people out there as well. So we feature in a lot of medias already in Japan, in China, and overseas as well. So we are thrilled and overwhelmed by the support by the communities, and also the loves from the blockchain space as well. So that's the very brief overall of what our project is, and we just started, and the story continues, and you are one of the heroes in this project, I think. Well, so I really look forward to really build our landscape, to build this project together, because community is very important. And of course, I will talk about maybe more Polkadot from this moment. So okay, I stop sharing for the. Okay, so this is basically what our project is, and maybe let me talk about a little bit about why I started this NFT project, and what the difficulties and what I walk through, so that people maybe know, okay, how to start a project, or why do a project, or why not do a project, which is very important. And okay, first of all, I started project because I really love games. I'm a gamer myself. I play games for over 30 years. And actually, I still play games every day. So I play a lot of genres of games, shooting games, though I suck at it. And I play RPG game. I love esports. I play card game like Hearthstone, you know. So I love games. So that's why I want to do something about games always. And I worked in game industry in the past. I developed game before. And so that's why when I have accumulated a few years of blockchain experience, I think that, well, maybe my know-how of building games and blockchain can combine together to make something revolutionary, which I really want to do. Because well, though I love a lot of like GameFi out there, blockchain games out there, but a lot of you, I think, to be honest, know that most of the blockchain games still need some improvement, right? So basically, there are a lot of things we can do in blockchain games, and so that's the passion that drives me to start this project. So I think one of the very important elements of starting the project is you need to have passion. If you don't love something, don't do it, because it really doesn't matter whether you can earn money or not, whether it gives you a job, or whether you can be famous. If you don't love something, the success cannot be long-lasting. It's not sustainable. So, but if you love something, and then you can really do it wholeheartedly, I think even if you don't have the capacity or the ability at the very beginning, you learn very fast. And then people can feel your passion. People can feel your love towards this project. And then your project will attract community, because community are, to be honest, community are the smartest people in the world, in a sense. What I mean is they can feel whether your project is a serious project or just a money grab, or just like maybe 6-month project. They know that in most of the case. So if you love a project and then do it wholeheartedly, people can feel that, okay, this is a project for like 10 years. This is a project like for 5 years, or this is a project like 2 years. And then some people, okay, they don't care. Okay, maybe they just say, okay, it's a 2-month project, then I pump and dump, and then I leave for another project. It's okay if you are okay with that. But I think, well, there are a lot of things that we can do in our lives. And I think being able to achieve something that you love is very important for every human being. And that's why we are here, because we love what we are doing. So let's say when I do blockchain, I really wholeheartedly love blockchain, and I want to know more about it. I want to really build something on it, and then I really want to contribute to the community. And of course, well, I am only one person. I have the limitation. I have a lot of limitation. I have a lot of things to learn from amazing people like you guys. So that's why I really want to like maybe we can do partnerships. We can maybe go to forums and then to exchange ideas to improve what we don't know, or we maybe to try to do something that we know. So I think this is one thing that will determine whether you want to start a project. Okay, that's one thing. And another thing is I think it all depends on how determined you are. Some people say, okay, I love something, I want to do it, but sometimes they don't have enough determination. And I think doing the project, okay, I should say, if you don't want to determine yourself 120% or 150% to your project, don't do it. you can hardly be very, very successful or very successful with only like 70% effort. If you are okay with like 70% effort, and then you can only be like an average project or like an average job. But if you have the determination to do like, to spend your time, like to spend 150% of your effort, and then you can do it. But actually this determination is okay. The degree of determination is very interesting, because if you love the thing that you do, actually you can easily spend like 120% of your effort into something. If you don't love it, how much you push yourself, you can only spend like maybe 80 or 70%. But if you love something, you just have to work harder a little bit, then you can actually spend a lot of over 100% of your effort into something. So I think this is two main factors that to determine how you want to start a project or not. And the third thing, of course, you need a team, and then the team you really have to gather people with good integrity. I think in blockchain is very, very interesting, because the money really go very fast, and people come and go very fast too. And so it's always have like a devil in your mind, or maybe in the team's mind, that, okay, well, maybe we can do it like just for a very short time, and then we go away and then start another project. There are a lot of this kind of thinking, which may be okay for some people, but if you really want to build something long lasting, I think to build a team with good integrity is very, very important. And once you have it, you'll be very successful, and the success will come to you naturally. So I think this is something that if you want to build a project, that is something you have to think about. And of course, it may my experience may be wrong, because everyone have very unique experience. But that's after building like a project like Polkafantasy, and previously I worked in a staking company as a director, and they are now the top 3 staking company in the world, crypto staking company. I think that, well, a team is very important, passion is important, and the determination is important. And maybe one last thing when before we move to Q&A, well, why I want to build a multi-chain. I think my decision of build a multi-chain or cross-chain is very simple. I think we are still at a very, very early stage to say that we have the best chain developed yet. All of the chain right now, they are still in the very, very early stage. And but of course, I think, well, Polkadot is a very excellent chain, because you can customize your parachain, and then with the same consensus system in the relay chain, you can build something very, very great. And of course, I found that there are a lot of very, very smart people in Polkadot ecosystem. That's why I really love this community, because I think they can really contribute to the blockchain industry as a whole, but not only to the Polkadot. So that's why we want to build on Polkadot and Polkadot, and then we are of course built on Ethereum now, and then Polygon, BSC, and Cardano, Solana. This will be like the chains that we want to leverage on. And of course, there are a lot of like strengths and weakness of each chain. So there is no perfect chain yet. And I think as a project owner, I think it's very important that we always have to reflect on ourselves and don't think that our decision is the best. There is no best decision in the world. You can only know that after the result has come out, maybe, or maybe after a long time. The best decision that you can make is always be open to every opportunities and every, like, not opportunities, but every possibility in technology. And if you have this open mindset, I think you can be a very good project, because you know that, okay, you can adopt maybe the latest technology, and you know why you adopt those technology. And then in long run, your project will be stronger and stronger, because you have a very technical mindset, and also if your mindset is open, then everything is possible. So I think this is a very short sharing from my side, and I think you guys know better than I do, and so please tell me what maybe I should do better. And I'm always feel very humble before in front of all these smart people in the communities. And there are a lot of great projects here. So yeah. So we really want to work with you guys to build a very much stronger community and also a blockchain industry for the future, for the humankind. Thank you.
Great, Alex. This was really great. We have a couple of questions though for you.
Yes.
From our community. So let's just get to that. So Dave, I think your questions are great, and Alex will definitely be able to help us out with these. So firstly, Alex, when they say multi-chain in terms of NFT, they're referring to the same NFT being available on different chains, right? So if yes, then how is it possible, as every NFT has a binding with a smart contract on each chain? And if you're deploying the same smart contract and creating similar NFT on other chains, then the NFT is losing its point or is worthless. So what's your view on that?
Well, I think first of all, it really depends on the business decision for the project to what change they adopt to launch their NFT. And of course, it's the community members is right. Well, if you launch different version of NFT on different chain, is actually currently is very, very hard. And unless you have a cross-chain interoperability, otherwise it's totally impossible. So I think right now the solution is still people, you have to launch a particular NFT on particular chain, and then but not launching on multiple chain at the same time. So, and I think for the NFT itself, every one of you should know better than I do. We are still at a very, very, very early stage. It's so early that we don't even know about what is the best way to launch NFT, to be honest. Right. Maybe we know the best way to launch, maybe let's say on Solana, on Ethereum, and then, okay, you can sell like maybe for some money, but that's it. No one knows how we should do the cross-chain interoperability right now in right way. Right. And not to mention about how to keep the value of the NFT, because even if you launch on the same chain, let's say on Ethereum, on Solana, people still struggle to maintain the price, not to say when you launch on different chain, right? So, but I think one of the solution in the future is, I think more project is building bridge for NFT. And there are actually two solutions of this right now. Okay, decentralized solution is you how to say you burn, create and burn. Not create and burn, lock and create. You lock a particular set of NFT on a particular chain, and then you create the same set of NFT with the metadata on another chain. Right. And this is, I think, this is one of the way that we do with token, and I think it's applicable to the NFT as well. And but there is no okay, it can be done in smart contract, okay, and there is another centralized way of doing it. You can just be the middleman to control how to mint and distribute the new version of NFT on other chain. But this will really take the effort of the profit of the project, and it's not good if you truly believe in decentralization. Right. So I don't have a clear answer, but I think, well, to be honest, well, I'm a true believer of decentralization, but I'm pragmatic enough that I think right now, not all the problems in blockchain can be solved by decentralized methodology. A lot of things has to be solved by centralized way as well. So I'm open to like adopting like centralized methodology and then decentralized methodology to make the best maybe method to do this kind of like swapping. But I think I didn't answer the question, but I think this is something that may inspire the some idea in some sense.
Yeah. Like you really can't put a finger to it, like you said. So yeah, this makes legit sense. Dave, I think that in a way answers your question too. One more for you, Alex. So how important is it for NFTs to be backed by good or big name designers?
Good question. And actually, it really I've been thinking and observing this kind of trend for months, and I don't have the exact answer, but I try to answer because I think a lot of people have better answer than I do. Okay, first of all, we have to realize that every value, almost every value, okay, in blockchain is backed by belief. And let's say Bitcoin is definitely backed by belief. And this belief is shared by many people. And that's why we have a very healthy community and also excellent community. And I think for the NFT itself, it's like it can be treated as an asset. It can be treated as, I don't know, just like really NFT, a token, okay, a token, and something digital. But why NFT has value is not because just because is something done by very famous people. Because I've seen famous people release NFT and not too many people bought it. Just because maybe the community think that okay, is cannot be flipped, cannot be like okay double overnight. I mean in terms of price, so they don't buy it. Or maybe the people, those famous people just release the NFT for sake of releasing the NFT without really thinking about what the community is thinking about. Right. So I think a successful NFT project is about how much thought or how mindful you are when you build this NFT project or NFTs. If you instill a lot of like possibility and utilities in it, and you spend time to think about what community want, you can definitely come up with some very excellent NFT that people want. And of course, it also comes down to marketing, comes down to like speculation, comes down to like some false belief or true belief. But at the end of the day, I think, as I said, community are smart. They are not stupid. They will know that whether the utilities, whether your passion, whether your goal or your vision is fake or not, or whether you really try to build the reputation or build the value into the NFT itself. So I think for famous people, of course, they have the advantage because they are famous people. I want to be famous people too, because famous people have advantage. Right? So, but at the end of the day, famous people, they should utilize their popularity in the right way. So if they have some good idea, if they really want to make their NFT fun for community to hold in long terms, then I think they can build NFT with much value, which is very high value. Right. But if it's for like only money grab, then of course people know that, and people know that okay, you will just leave maybe 1 week later, and then people won't buy it because it's not sustainable. So it's not about whether it's done by a popular people or famous people or not. I think the value of every NFT is really sustained by in long term. I'm not talking about short term, because short term anything can happen. In long term, it's really sustained by how much heart you put in it. Right. And I think it applies to many things. And for NFT, short-term value, of course, is also important, but long-term value can be only built by determination, built by passion. If we don't have this kind of thing, then we don't have to do blockchain, or we can just do other things, right? So yeah. That's it.
Great. That was pretty precise, Alex. That's great. Okay, one final one for you then, Alex. Yeah, so so from Dev, a little bit on the tech side. So who should be responsible to make sure that the metadata should persist for forever for the NFT? Because even IPF's network, they keep the data until the incentives are being paid. So who should be responsible for this bit of it?
I think this doesn't have a solution or clear answer yet, because the best answer is, of course, we put the metadata on IPFS. But as you know, in theory, it is safe on IPFS, and it can still keep let's say a digital art NFT. You have the image, let's say any image, you have some attribute, unchanged attribute, unchanged attribute. And then you have like, let's say external URL, and you have like maybe the name of the NFT. You put it on IPFS. In theory, it is safe. In theory, unless you kill all the like IPFS nodes, and of course you have nothing left. But as long as you have the IPFS nodes, then you have the NFT itself internally forever, right? But for the project side, I think right now we have a dilemma of, okay, when we build more utilities into the NFT, the problem is you need information to be changed. That means either you need to build in a mechanism in the smart contract that can change the data dynamically while storing the data persistently on the NFT. Let's say on IPFS, okay, on IPFS. But let's say with more game NFT, with more like other NFT with more utilities, this become more and more difficult because the data is become more dynamic. Let's say you have an NFT, of a character. You want to level him up. You cannot just store all this like attribute on IPFS. It doesn't work.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to store some kind of like data off chain, and when you store data off chain, that means that you need a server, and the server is tied to the life span of the project. So if one day, let's say the project just disappear or bankrupt, or maybe they run for like 50 years already, and then all these like founders die, and let's say in this case, the server die, and then you lose all this like off chain data. And I think right now, this is the dilemma because when we want to build more utilities into the NFT, then more technical requirement we require are required for the blockchain, for the NFT as well. But when the NFT is tied very tightly with the blockchain, because our blockchain is still it's not 100% mature yet. We still have a lot of things to be done on it. And I think the answer is we don't know, and we have to wait. But at the end of the day, if you buy NFT from a responsible project, then it should be safe in theory. Just as I always believe, if you do business with good people, you don't need a contract to do business with good people. But if you do business with bad people, no matter how many contracts you have, you're still kind of like in danger. So basically, it's the same for NFT and blockchain as well. If you get the NFT and the tokens from a good project, you can sleep well at night because you know that the value will kind of like But if you just speculate and then just don't know don't know the integrity of the project, then you cannot sleep at night. It's true.
Absolutely.
So yes.
Great. Yeah, I think that pretty much keeps everything clear. Dave, I hope that answers your question too. And if you have any follow-up questions, do DM us, and we'll get Alex to clear things for us as well.
Yeah, I appreciate for having me, and I really love being here. Thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks, Alex. You were straight from the heart, so this was absolutely great. And all the very best for your entire team at Polkafantasy, and good luck from all of us out here.
Thank you.
Good evening. So guys, if you have any further questions for Alex or the upcoming speakers, do reach out to us on Twitter with #DotFriday. Now, it also gives me great joy to announce that Team Polkadot India is now expanding, and we are looking out. So if you're great at social media with a knack for motion graphics, or if you're good with community interactions and management, DM one of the admins on WhatsApp or Telegram, and let's get talking, right? Now, Anmol Network is the first multi-chain NFT toolkit that allows you to craft your own unique digital assets, tradable across a wide range of blockchains, all without knowing a single line of code. Well, our next speaker's energy is infectious, knowledge is vast, and experiences are a must here. So give it up for our next guest tonight, guys. It's Phaedra, CMO of Anmol Network. Phaedra, it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us, and can't wait to hear all you have to share with our community.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here and happy to meet the community. Like you said, I'm the CMO of Anmol Network. I do have a pretty multifaceted background through the entertainment industry, holding corporate executive roles, coordinating government campaigns. I produced TEDx events, and I was an organizer of the COVID-19 Global Hackathon. And Anmol is the second blockchain project that I've been involved with. The first was DLN, it's a decentralized lending network. And I'm really grateful to have come on board here because there's such a great opportunity to be part of a very meaningful contribution to blockchain. And like you had said, Anmol is the first NFT toolkit, but it's actually a little bit more expansive. It's really like the first Web3 toolkit. And we are our own blockchain as well, but we are built it on Substrate. So we're the reasoning kind of behind that and the importance behind that is we want to be able to seamlessly integrate with Polkadot. As we know, it is viewed as the most sought after means of bridging between the different blockchains. And if we want the new wave of the web to be a place where people, assets, and data can be transferred in a digitally borderless way, then we need a way for all the blockchains to communicate with each other. And so we know that this is what it bridges blockchains and makes it easy for blockchains to merge to form a more connected space. So being built on that same. So as I mentioned, we are the first multi-chain Web3 toolkit. And the purpose of this is to have a medium to convert existing technologies, existing internet technologies, existing Web2 technologies, almost like an adapter onto the Web3 platforms. Because we're not essentially going to be as successful in Web3 unless the existing operational processes, business operational processes, and web utilities that we have are able to be successfully migrated. We won't be successful if we have Web 2 and Web 3 existing separately from each other, and Web 3 won't be able to fully be adopted. So we have partnered with Darwinian Network to utilize their bridges to share their bridges for bridging assets. We are partnered with Polygon Network as they will, for their scalability on the EVM side, they will be the first EVM chain that we will be connecting to, and Crest Network is currently allowing us to utilize their NFT storage. And as I mentioned, Anmol is a new blockchain. It's also built on Substrate with the intention to seamlessly connect to Polkadot, as that is viewed as really the greatest opportunity to bridge the different blockchains together. When we think about internet technology, it would have been completely useless for the internet to only exist within individual countries, and you can only communicate with people in your own country. So with blockchain, we're kind of in that situation right now where we have these various blockchains and they have all this great communication and connectivity within themselves and all these really amazing features, but Web3 as itself is very disconnected from each other. And so Polkadot is really a gateway to bring us onto that horizon, that next forefront, so we can truly migrate that. And with us building our own blockchain, it allows us just a greater freedom with all of the tools and resources and the decentralized applications that we are building, so that to really streamline the process of onboarding new users. And the purpose of this and why this is so important is because it's about lowering the technical barrier to entry. With any type of decentralized project, you have to go through this entire process of creating your project, investing all your time and effort and energy into it to actually develop the project. Even if you have unlimited financial resources and time to create your project, development resources are a scarcity. So when it comes to just any user into trying to totally adopt or migrate their business services, or even if they're just a small business owner selling things on e-commerce and they want to migrate over to a blockchain platform, it's a very difficult process. Even if it's just a user trying to create their NFTs, it's something that is very confusing. You have a disproportionate amount of users that are viewing videos on how to create NFTs or viewing videos about NFTs than you have users actually creating NFTs. So there's an interest, but it's still that learning curve, and that barrier is proving to be difficult for for people to adopt. And Anmol was started in April of this year, so it hasn't even been a year with the product. And we are in a fairly advanced stage of development in that we're about to launch a testnet with some of our core features. So we'll actually be able to begin onboarding users to interact with our blockchain and the first centralized applications that we will offer. Our founder is very experienced in the blockchain space. He's worked on a lot of projects, including Darwinia, Plasm, and Edgeware, and he's very familiar with the various technologies that are associated in the blockchain space. And it really puts us at an advantage whereas we are performing solo chain integrations and bridging between the different platforms to just have that multilingual capacity in the blockchain programming languages as our leadership. And Anmol is something that was really important for Cons to start, just to have things to be more accessible, because right now a lot of these blockchain technologies and these really cool things that we're doing, they cannot go mainstream. They're a scarcity, they're a rarity, and it's because of the accessibility issues. And when you look at percentage of people that use the internet versus percentage of people that use blockchain, it's extremely disproportionate. And it's just because the use cases beyond gamification and investment, the difficulty to create new use cases for blockchain technologies is such a steep learning curve. So as I mentioned, we are building our own blockchain, and we'll be bridging to a myriad of other chains. We will be crowdsourcing for Substrate-based projects like Polkadot, and we are in talks for a partnership to allow us to use a parachain slot on Kusama. We are already partnered with Darwinia. We will be performing a solo integration to Polygon, and then additional solo integrations to even niche chains like Flow, Tezos, ThetaWax, and many more. We're also going to be interacting and incorporating the various different wallets that people can utilize, as well as integrating a cloud wallet to our platform. Users will have KYC integrated as well, so users will be able to acquire tokens, figure out what kind of wallet that they would like to use to utilize our dApps, all from the same organized UI UX, which is a little bit more streamlined than the process now, which is traditionally going on YouTube, figuring out what you want to do, and going through multiple different applications to utilize a product or service. Various things that we'll offer on our platform as far as the decentralized applications or utilities that we're providing to other users. So we'll be providing bridges, and not just for our project, but for other projects as well. So what's important about that is if there are smaller projects that don't really have the overhead or the community to try to secure a slot on Polkadot, they'll be able to utilize Anmol's bridges to have that interoperability. Anmol will allow users within a jurisdiction where regulations allow. Users can mint their own token. They can create communities. With governance capabilities, we have an NFT toolkit, which is mainly our core feature, and it really brings a lot of benefit, not just creating NFTs from a creator perspective, but allowing other utilities and use cases to be taken advantage of for NFTs also. We'll have DAO-based communities, so this allows users from any community, whether it's on Reddit or Instagram or in the real world, to deploy an instance of a DAO and have that decentralized governance and financial infrastructure. As well as we have molds, which are basically like custom NFT upload forms, or you can think of it like a WordPress or Canva for NFT, where you can really create anything that you want, and you're not limited by just going onto a platform and having that same upload form, no matter what your level is, either technologically or artistically, and having that same user experience. This is going to allow users to really do anything that they want with NFTs, whether it's logistics or sell tickets. They can create these templates with complex functionalities or advanced gamification and utilize that. If they have an idea, they're able to come on our platform and bring their idea to life without mass development overhead cost or going through the entire process of creating a product. So one thing that I came here to talk about is really just the problems that we face as a project, but just the blockchain industry overall. And it is something that we're seeing definitely a movement, a migration, especially this year, where people are very interested in NFTs. We're seeing companies like PayPal integrating cryptocurrency like Venmo. We're seeing large brands like Nike integrating metaverse properties to their collections. We're seeing more and more high-end designers utilizing NFTs. So it's something that is rapidly adopting, but we're still just in the very beginning. So in order for us to really be successful, most countries have less than 10% blockchain adoption. And this is on a worldwide, with an average number being about 5 to 6% in countries where they're even able to utilize blockchain services. So we're still in a very early adoption phase of blockchain. And the challenge really that any project is going to face is crossing over this chasm. And it's when we're actually moving blockchain utilities beyond the investment of tokens. And I know it's something that the users are very excited about. So many users came into the space this year just to invest in tokens such as Shiba, and Doge. But in the long run, that's not going to be sustainable for the overall adoption of blockchain utilities. We have to start converting existing business processes, existing Web 2 functions to Web 3 so that we can get a majority of users utilizing blockchain services. So this is a challenge that not only we face as Anmol, and this is something that we are working to try to solve specifically as a project, but it's something that all projects are going to face. And the other problem is really, as we're moving across this adoption life cycle, the market share is it's becoming saturated. So right now, even though we're really advancing and we're innovating and we're coming out with so many new projects, especially new metaverse projects, it's very saturated in terms of we're still sharing the same 6 to 11% of the population, which has doubled again this year. But for the past 10 years, any blockchain crypto projects, they're sharing those users, and the resources are scarcity, and it's very expensive and inaccessible. In the metaverse, if you try to go into Decentraland and you want to interact with it and engage with it, and most people, an average user, is not going to be able to build in the metaverse. They're not going to be able to acquire property and build. The metaverse is becoming more expensive than the real world. So whereas people are able to be sustainable in the real world and have a home and have clothes, in the metaverse, they're not able to do that. There is essentially, most people in the metaverse are they're homeless. They don't have any virtual land. They don't have any virtual property. If at best they can observe what's going on, but they're not really able to participate in it. And it's because there's not, it's such a scarcity right now, where the projects, the development resources, the ability to really convert existing Web 2 technologies that people are using, like Candy Crush, like interaction on Facebook or other social media platforms, they're not fully integrated into the metaverse. Once things become free and accessible, then the metaverse will really become a reality. But right now, it's kind of like a concept in preview mode, and only certain individuals are able to really access that, because it's still, where the market share and just the amount of money that it costs to truly participate at this stage is it's a little bit uneven in comparison to, I mean, if we had to pay thousands of dollars to utilize Facebook or Instagram, we wouldn't be doing that. So with the metaverse, it's just something that's a little bit off-centered. So I'm really excited to talk about us a little bit more as a project and things that we're doing to really make blockchain utilities accessible. And so the first kind of dApp that we are using to onboard users into the space is working into the NFT realm, into the NFT space, and as part of our NFT toolkit. So our two core features that we're going to be launching iteratively are two first dApps, essentially, our molds and our DAO-based communities. And molds are NFT templates. So molds are going to allow users to create these really amazing generative art collections. Everybody sees them, but it's something that is too complex for most users. And you can tell because you watch tutorial videos on how to do this on YouTube, or you see those videos, or you see a post about Bored Ape that has gotten millions of shares, or these NFTs are selling for millions of dollars, but you don't see just any average user that knows how to use Adobe Illustrator Illustrator or Corel Draw or Procreate going out and making these generative art collections. It's not something that's accessible to them, and it's not a difficult. It's not really necessarily a steep learning curve, but just the inaccessibility of a simple UI UX process that's going to walk them through that is something beyond what they have access to. So this is the beginning of our core feature, molds. In this iteration, we're going to be using molds to create generative NFT art. Again, this can be used for anything. We can create tickets and allocate royalty percentages to every member of the band that as ticket is sold, the royalty percentages follow with an increase in value. Those artists are going to be receiving their royalties. But in this is just an example of kind of what you would do to create a generative NFT art project on Anmol. So it's pretty simple, but you can be as complex as you want and make something as complex as a Bored Ape, but the process is really a lot simpler than people are making it out to be, given that the users that are actually doing it and they're seeing such great success and the people that are capable of doing it. So we're here to remove that barrier. So in this example, the user is just going to pick out 2 backgrounds. They're pretty simple. They're going to pick out some suits for their profile picture collection. We just have 2 here. The amount of kind of additional layers that you would have for these NFTs would account for how many different variations of the NFT that you would have. These have a clear background, so the background on these is the same exact size as those squares on the previous slide. We would have this shoulder section. Again, this is on clear background. These are layers that would be uploaded into our interface, which I'll show you at the end of it. We have a pen, and we have a skin. We just have one version, right? So all these NFTs are going to have the same head for this example, just to keep it simple. We gave them a mask, and we also have a transparent layer which produced a no mask. So these are different attributes that our NFT will have. And again, this is very simple. It can be very complex. You can upload as many different variations as you want. They're all in the same clear layer in the background. We have 2 options of hair for our NFT profile picture collection. We're not going to give them any accessories, so we have a transparent layer, but this is going to enable us to add those accessories later and give more variations. Now, this is where we're actually going to get the variations of our NFT. Up until now, we've seen that we only have a couple of options that are going to be produced because we only had a couple of backgrounds. We only had one face type. So these helmets are going to give us multiple variations of what kind of helmets that our character can wear. And so with this, we'll now have all the possible combinations of all of these layers that we've just uploaded into our platform. And in the end, you'll get an NFT. It's a profile picture NFT. Again, this is very simple. It's not really as complex as what you're seeing with Bored Ape, but the purpose is that all these layers that we just saw in the interface, they would be over here. So you'd go ahead and add these in here on the left, and you can have as many different suits as you want here, as many different shoulders, which is like the patch, as you want here. Any type of facial hair, a mask, accessories, regular hair, headwear, and you would name each layer, and you can allocate actually which rarity percentage that it is. It will tell you really how many NFTs that you're creating so far, given the layers that you've uploaded and the rarity percentage that you've specified. And on the right, we have a preview window. So if you just want to kind of select a various combination of these attributes and view an NFT and see how it's going to look before it's randomized, just to check it out, or for quality assurance to make sure that everything is merging correctly, you'll be able to visualize that. And then the NFT is minted. Your entire generative collection is minted. And the more different properties and that you add, in the more layers that you add into the system, the more NFTs that you're going to be able to generate. So this is something that we are so excited about, because so many users want to do this, but they are so overwhelmed when they see these collections and they see that there's 7,000, 10,000 NFTs. They're an artist and they think, oh, how long is it going to take me to make 10,000 different versions of this? They don't understand that it's something that it's a generative art render. and there's not really an accessible platform or any assistance to help them go through the process. Some of these users, even getting a MetaMask account and using OpenSea is very difficult for them. They can be a traditional artist with 20 years experience, but figuring out how to get on get their account registered with Coinbase, get some Ethereum, send it over to their MetaMask, initialize that over to OpenSea, and upload their NFT is it's an overwhelming process for them. And we can tell just given by how many users are using platforms like Instagram, how many users are using platforms like Canva, how many users do we have using Adobe Creative Suites versus how many creators are actually creating NFTs. It's so disproportionate. So this is we're really excited to release this, and this is actually coming really soon. It's in late stage of development, and we're actually accepting right now pre-applications for our ambassador program. So if you're an NFT creator or you're interested in creating a generative NFT art collection, you can contact us either hello@Anmol.Network or on Twitter in our Telegram, and apply for our ambassador program, where you'll actually be able to access the features early before the platform releases and create your generative art collection on our platform. So this is probably what we are the most excited about right now. And the next iteration will also be our other feature is DAO-based communities. And why that's so important is communities are such a strong background of society, and especially where you have Reddit communities, you have Facebook communities. If you look at what did happen with Sheeb and what did happen with Doge, and those that was the result of communities. What happened with even in the stock market this year in the USA due to communities. Communities are very powerful. And when we're building community for our blockchain, even when we're building our community for Anmol, there's no really necessarily need to go out and build these specific new communities. The communities are already existing, and it's a very great benefit for blockchain overall to find a way to engage with these existing communities and empower them to exist and have presence in the Web3 space. So this is another feature that we're really excited about. Imagine if every community on Reddit has deployed an instance of a DAO, and they take all their followers. There's an easy, streamlined UI UX to get them onboarded into the DAO. They're able to utilize tokens that are Anmol tokens, they're able to utilize tokens from other platforms, they're able to mint their own tokens, giving liquidity to their community or to their brand. They're able to mint branded NFTs or generative art collections using those molds. So there's a lot that just any user can do. And again, these are only 2 dApps that we'll be featuring on Anmol that I'll talk about for the purpose of this presentation. But we will have a full suite in our NFT toolkit, as well as other decentralized applications on our blockchain that are all for the purpose of fostering interoperability and accessibility to general end users. And really that's something main that we're doing in terms of the next upcoming features, and just a little bit about our project. In terms of, again, I guess building communities, and blockchain is something that's going to be very important for onboarding new users. And even just with our project, some things that have really helped us is just interacting and finding, helping your users, whether it is a friend or a family member, somebody that's interested in your project, just taking that extra step to help them with blockchain literacy is something that's going to greatly be beneficial for blockchain overall. And it's going to grow the blockchain community overall so that we can cross that chasm and get on to a majority adoption of blockchain technologies. Because what will happen is if we keep getting so many really great projects, but we don't increase our overall user base, and we just all compete over the same less than 10% of the population that's utilizing blockchain services, we're eventually going to the resources that are available from the global financial infrastructure to be utilized for blockchain or crypto, that's going to become diluted, and the projects aren't going to be able to see the same success in their tokenomics or really thrive and successfully migrate into that that's kind of the the forefront of the Web3.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Phaedra. I think we have a couple of questions for you about how you've been doing at Anmol Network, right? So probably if you can throw some light on what is the strategy Anmol Network uses to attract new users and investors. Like you said, that's a tough one. So what's the strategy you go for?
A main component of our marketing strategy is blockchain literacy. And the reason for that is that when it's something that can be collaborative with other projects in the space so easily. When I mentioned some of our previous partnerships where we're utilizing Crest Network for our NFT storage, or whether we're partnering with Darwinia, their community will have access to all of our features in our toolkit, and we'll be able to utilize their bridges. So with those partnerships, there is a logic and a reason behind of it, where with every project, it may not be compatible to partner with each other, but with blockchain literacy, if all the projects in the space, in the Polkadot space, or in blockchain in total, started campaigning more for blockchain literacy and started to encourage more traditional educational mediums, traditional colleges to start offering classes on blockchain or cryptocurrency, that's going to make the industry stronger overall. That's going to onboard more users onto blockchain overall. So that's a really big thing for us. Like I mentioned, our ambassador program, we'll always be having different programs or different opportunities to interact with us and to integrate our technologies and our decentralized applications into traditional artistry, traditional communities, traditional businesses. So that's something it's more of a grassroots effort to really get these businesses integrated. Because once we do, and once just like with Nike developing a metaverse line for shoes, once more brand names start utilizing blockchain technologies, it's going to become more of a common and acceptable knowledge. And that's also going to lift up on regulations when more bigger brands and more utilities come into blockchain services and NFTs beyond just investing. That's going to ease up on the regulations, and it's going to be seen as more of a traditional business model, which is something that we need to reduce the volatility of the market overall.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, great. Moving on to the next one, Phaedra. So being on the marketing side of things, what are the challenges you have faced while building a community or reaching out to people? So what's your take on that?
I think in some cases, a challenge that we face is a challenge that a lot of projects are going to face also, and it's the authenticity of a lot of users in the space. A lot of users are not genuinely invested in the technology or learning more about the technology or engaging with the project or creating something on the project as much as a lot of blockchain users just want to invest in a token. So when that happens, it's hard to really get a community that's committed for the long term and really excited about the project. It's much easier to get users really excited about a token launch as they see it as an opportunity to monetize in their investment. And so it's that's a challenge that not only we face, but that I think every project that is going to eventually have a token is going to face. And it's just getting that really engaged user base. And so for us, we want to offer people something that's exciting, that makes their life easier, that makes creating NFTs an easier, more fun process, make them feel empowered, like they can do anything. And that's something that we're striving towards to kind of overcome that challenge where a majority of users of blockchain technologies are investors.
Yeah, great. Makes sense, Phaedra. Thanks for that. You make it sound pretty amazingly simple, and you sure have my interest higher than before. We would love to stay in touch and do bigger things together, especially with the Substrate developer community out here too. So yeah, thanks. Thank you so much, Phaedra. This has been absolutely great. So you can.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, if you have any further questions for Phaedra or our final guest, do reach out to us on Twitter with #DotFriday. Now, Punk.Network is a high-performance NFT-friendly mainnet developed based on Substrate architecture for decentralized apps and assets. It's a new type of blockchain that can host all digital assets and apps, bringing all NFTs onto a single decentralized protocol. This means that the creators of these crypto collectibles can buy, sell, and exchange NFTs more efficiently. So our final guest for tonight is the founder of Punk.Network and NFT Castle. And these are just two of the many feathers on this mastermind's cap. So Ken, it's a joy having you here tonight, and we're all ears to know what you have in store for us. So over to you.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. And have you hear me that clearly? That my voice is okay to everyone?
Yes, it's very clear.
Nice. Yeah, well, actually in China we have a culture that in a performance the last one always the best, you know. Yeah, so I take it a compliment. And hi everyone, I'm Ken Yang and the founder of the Punk Network. And it's my pleasure to share my projects with the Indian friends and cryptocurrency enthusiasts. And for those who haven't heard of me, I was born in and raised in a business family. And my father is renowned as a collection of the art pieces, real estate business and investments. I became interested in art in a very early age. And my father is frequently a bidder in the artworks, in the antiques and auctions. And I learned painting, and later on, I gained interested in photography. When I finished my master's degree, well, I learned the Chinese traditional history, and I entered the film and the television industry, which is quite abnormal in blockchain field. And I became an independent producer. I made an online TV drama where I only spent about like $500,000 that I did not have enough money for the promotions. But however, the show still had more than 17 million viewers on Tencent Video. It's a fascinating experience. Back into like 2017, one of my good friends, like Lamento Zhang, and he's the founder of the Nagana Capital, and talked to me. He said, like, hey friend, you can buy some pizza. In China we call it Bitcoin pizza because someone just paid 20,000 Bitcoin for like pizza. So I was confused that why my friends asked me for buy a pizza. Should I be a delivery guy or something? And after all, I learned about Bitcoin history, and I realized the blockchain is full of charm. I feel my beloved film industry. I left my beloved film industry and dedicate myself to blockchain everything. And years after, I did like investment and consultant and bought various altcoins. Some of them has been long forgotten as the time goes by. But I have always been optimistic about one thing that based on my history and philosophy background, that is, I firmly believe that blockchain will reshape our social relations in terms of economics, politics, or the communications. I have and I'm particularly interested in games and the various apps. I participate events held by the Uniswap when it was just launched. Like we called Crypto Kitties or Formal 3D, that Ponzi game for the first generation of games. I was one of the first players, and about a year ago, I had some ideas about the development of NFT and blockchain games. At that time, the total market value, I think it's just 1 billion for the NFT market. Nowadays, I think one large project will be like way over that amount. Oh, I believe that I can bring some new ideas to the industry. The game should return to its essential, and the NFT should return to the to its application way. Whether it's application of finance or transaction. So I decided to set up a blockchain project to give the whole ecology a new vitality. So Punk Network is really a kind of interesting project. We took this name from cyberpunk. Many people think that we are, like crypto punks, but and some people think we are just mimicking. And there are many stories that came about it. But we are not imitators. And the network means that we are a chain. Our original intention is to create an exclusive application chain for NFT assets, because in our knowledge, we never think that the cyberpunk belongs to the sci-fi.
I think it's just a new feature setting. So we believe NFT is a bridge, or we say a wormhole connecting the real world and the metaverse, and so that virtual assets are protected. And that's very important. And everyone will not be hijacked by the big companies and governments and the illegal activities when it's, they're traveling the virtual world. And well, NFT is far more than artworks. And in our opinions, things like game assets, small souvenirs, tickets, or other consumer level virtual assets is all applicable to the category of NFT. So therefore, there's original intention of Punk was to serve NFT and metaverse. It has been like proved that our choice is correct. And Polkadot matches us very well at this point. We are very optimistic about the development of it. And we say if the layer one is kind of, planet, and there's all kinds of, or large, small countries, just like applications, right? And then the layer zero is definitely the same as the Milky Way, and it's the universe itself. So, but now every so-called the metaverse project is trying to like build their own metaverse and make some moat. Well, moat is the river surrounding the castles and the cities to defend or protect them. At this point, it is actually a little bit anti-metaverse itself, but Polkadot has designed to be very open from the beginning and laying the groundwork for the subsequent of the multi-chains. And we believe that the Polkadot will be the basic structure of the future metaverse. So we decided to choose Polkadot. And although we know that advantages of Polkadot because of the difficulty of the technology development is always like put off, So our assets has been deployed on the Binance Smart Chain first. And we are also actively cooperating with the chains such as Solana and Polygon, which are also based on the Rust language. To deploy the parts of the game assets, as we said, Punk is an application chain based on the Polkadot, the most important part of our ecology. One is NFT Castle, and another is chain games. NFT Castle is a marketplace for NFTs and mainly publish, intellectual properties products developed by the, we have cooperated with the Chinese most largest mobile game company, and we have a variety of artists and very famous artists. And our original intention for NFTcastle.io is actually very simple. At that time, OpenSea was not that famous, but it was already the leading trading platform in the industry. After I just tried it, my personal feeling is that the operation is a little bit, user friendly, and it's kind of difficult for me to find the content that I desire. So we like research about it and find the problem. That is that sometimes this kind of top platforms just put too much efforts to their, I think it's ultimate beauty. They just design too much, and to develop but we are the different kind of, we're doing the different kind of thing. We focus on the interaction design to develop the marketplace that let everybody has more times to shop. At the same time, we found very early that some of the NFTs just kind of publicity stunt. Is many assets has just been traded like the stocks in a short period of time. It's just like you're treating the NFTs like tokens. And we don't think that's quite right. So we want to make NFTs like return to its original value. Everyone buys NFT because they like it. Instead, we send expectation for the price rising. Many people like to collect the Air Jordan shoes, but it's not because the price is increasing. It's because they like it, and therefore this kind of market won't collapse and more healthy. And so there are two requirements for this kind of thing. And the first is we need to make commercialized NFTs. And commercialized can provide the greatest liquidity. This is determined by the nature of commodities. Even in the real world, the artworks only account for like 1% of the total market. And we think like souvenirs, like intellectual properties, including regular like football star cards, basketball for the star cards, and movie posters, and modeling of the relative film and animation or this game characters, etc. But this is kind of things are good targets. And I like Witcher, the game Witcher. And if there's kind of Geralt NFT, I will buy it immediately. So it's the second thing is kind of financial derivative products, which provides additional liquidity for NFTs. And we both think the liquidity problem gonna be the future problem of NFTs. So the essence of this kind of we call it like financial derivative product is like is kind of tools for pricing, pledge, insurance, etc. All kinds of it. And this is used we have the two important things for it. It's just like we have standardized NFT and synthetic assets to enrich the scenarios of NFTs. And we believe that through these kind of two things, that NFT can not only better fulfill its own value attributes, but also can make a good use for its tool function and build a solid asset bottom layer for the metaverse. The culture products that the public love are the driving force behind continuous consumption and prosperity. We think metaverse can only to operate with above two requirements, just like the universe in reality. If it keeps expanding, it collapses automatically and become absolute zero, which is not the result that we want. And we have concerning about the game for a long time. Like TCG's trading card game has always been our optimistic direction. I'm also a fan of card games, from Hearthstone to Gwent. Gwent is the card game in the Witcher that I have played for a while, and we will release Red and Blue at the end of the month. And a hardcore trading card games cost tens of millions, and was built for chain games from the beginning. We are still perfecting the game, even has a 4-year development cycle from 2017 to today. And when it launches, it will divide it in two parts. One is GameFi, and one is the traditional we talk the mobile game. And meanwhile, in the future, we will bind all NFT cards to this playable mobile games so that everyone can release their virtual assets and play. And in the future, we have a lot of game IPs that will be launched one by one, and such as Monopoly. I think we all played in the childhood, and Saint Seiya is Japanese animation, and traditional Chinese fairy tale game is called Legend and Sword and Fairy. In the coming year, and we will focus on the games. So this is gonna be the plan for the next year. And for the chain itself, we are not in a hurry. We have many ecological partners. For them, that we need a variety customized services. For us, collecting their needs, demands is the major priority. And I just make example that an urban off-road vehicle does not need to really go off-road, right? Sometimes you just have 2 more babies. So how to services our ecological partners? Well, is our core goal. So regarding the development plan of the current project, Punk.Network has completed many milestones in past year, and but we are not doing enough. We're not done enough in terms of roadmap planning. Well, we divided to 4 stages. And the first stage, we call it Wasteland Punk, and the second is Steampunk, and the third is Vacuum Punk, and finally the Cyberpunk. So the wasteland is like the evolution from the Stone Age to the monarchy. People's focus on gradually start from the fishing and hunting and to farming, from tribes to kingdoms, just like from 0 to 1, from just having ideas to product the design, formulating routes and establishing management team. We did a good job, although there's some troubles we have overcome and difficulties, and we stick together. Steampunk is the first leap of productivity and symbolized as the first steam revolution. We completed the early deployment of the application chain and held 2 successful NFT exhibitions, which are reported by the CCTV and Beijing TV, and it's quite rare in China because we have regulations. Actually, I think everybody knows it, and we are in the national TV, so it's never be a scam anymore. And we established a cooperative relationship with several like large-scale outstanding enterprises, and developed the basic interface and functions of NFT castle. And Punk has launched Bitmart. The rapid development of the stage caused us ignore some of our own problems. We have also deeply, reviewed this kind of thing. To make an interesting analogy, even the equipped with the nuclear power technology, we still have to like boil the water to drive the steam turbine to generate electricity. So, but people cannot live on the era of steam engines forever. For the steam engine cannot create a computer and cannot take us to the moon. So the glories for the past can only become the history, while the modern technology can drive us into the future. So we are looking for the vacuum period. It's more like a stage that connecting to the past and the next, and also the stage that we are now in. And in the 1904, the people invented the vacuum tube, which allowed humans to achieve large-scale calculations, and it was the core technology used to manufacture the first computer in 1950. And however, the vacuum tube is very heavy and cannot be lightweight, so it has been replaced by silicon-based chips within a short period of time. Adjustments, experiments, and hard work are the characteristic of this era. As we all know that developing the basic functions of NFT castle and the several chain games on the critical development period, although the gameplay of the first division may not be perfect, but real gameplay has always been our biggest concern. Well, in like 2018, I wrote an article about the chain games. It always been my biggest concern. That the game is not for play anymore. They are using it for like money. So I want to make the games back to its essential ways. That game is for play. So but the vacuum kind of time is boring. So we make a kind of strategy called Great Leap. But this is not saying that we want to skip it. We just want to complete this part of accumulation, and we will like have a great leap. So Cyberpunk is our final goal, and to the source of our project, and this is our project name. So we have complete ecology, a large number of users, and core technologies and unique application there. We have like fulfill everyone's expectation, and we will realize our goals. I believe that our spacecraft can be built and sail to the center of the metaverse and explore the final frontier where no one has been there before. So this is actually the whole thing that I want to share. But I still want to share one of the can you guys hear the voice of the game?
No, not
I don't
really.
think so.
Just
I don't think so. Yeah, that's the same problem that with the last time. Yeah, but it's still cool. It's still cool. And you can have a check about that. And this is our trading card game. Actually, it's really cost millions of It's kind of, Hearthstone, but it's a little bit different. We have like three parts of land that you can place your card, and it will affects, just like we have water, we have land, and we have fire. And with different card types and different kind of thing, then you can make different kind of play ways. So this is the thing, and our NFT castle will be like launched tomorrow. Actually, it's it's just very lucky that I have an AMA today, so I can make a kind of a promotion of it. And our NFT castle will be like a little bit different with the traditional ones, and we will make a lot of financial tools in it, and to provide most of the liquidity of the NFTs. That's all. And there's a final thing that we prepared gifts for the Polkadot India. That is the Tanka, from the Tibetan Buddhism. That is a kind of NFC Tanka, so it's very special. And I think the Buddhism from China is come from India, so it's kind of payback to you. So that's it. And yeah, we prepared like 60 cards, and each of it was like 1 BNB. Finally, we will see. Yeah, so it's kind of very good one, and you can like apply it with the whitelist, and I already sent to the shrimp Shri. So it's I don't know, my thing is done. And the last one, I really like India movies, and I saw a lot. My favorite actor is Amin Khan. He's my favorite.
Wow.
Yes, I like
Great
it.
choice.
Like Three Idiots, yes, and Dagon. That's my favorite. I'm a movie guy, and
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
so great. That's so great. You've been so warm throughout, Ken. Like that. That's absolutely great. You must come down sometime when times are better, for sure.
No problem. I
Love
always
the place
wish.
too.
I always. Yeah. Yes. No problem. Yeah.
Lovely. Great. Ken, thanks for this. We have a couple of questions for you, though, before we wind up. So one being, how does staking an NFT make sure that there is no further sleep minting on your asset?
That sleepy minting is a term used to describe the NFT thief. Is that right?
Yes.
I see. Because I checked most of the resources for the Chinese ones, so sometimes I don't know the English about this. Well, this is kind of the thing that if there's hackers or there's flaws in our project, we have like audit companies that already audit for like weeks. So, and then this is the best audit companies, and we don't think there's gonna be a technical problem of it. But if there's kind of thing that that they are the hackers that turn out the NFT is very valuable properties like in the future, and they find some new ways or find some the ways that we don't know, or even for the sometimes it's the project itself to like make this kind of thing. So actually this kind of problem nowadays is not very occurred. It's not very occurred. So most of this kind of thing is happened in the exchanges or happened in the some DeFi projects. But when NFT is staking, when NFT staking is available, but I think now from now is more and more happen because there's a lot of GameFi. They use NFTs for staking. For my opinion, that is, I really don't know this kind of thing because we don't meet this kind of thing yet. But we have to prepare this kind of thing. We have several like the engineers, and I will like prepared enough to prevent this kind of thing to happen. And I'm not really a technical guy, but if you can ask me some like more like historical or philosophy questions, I was very happy to answer. But this kind of thing I really don't know. But we will prepare good enough to prevent this kind of thing to happen. This is yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't know the answer. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure, Ken. Like we're all in the process, so it's fine. Great. Okay, so one more, Ken. So how is authenticity of NFT and NFT owner verified? So the system assumes whoever creates or mints an NFT first is the original creator, right? So there must be a solid way to verify the authenticity of ownership, right? So how is this usually done?
Yeah, this is our new version that is V2. We used to have the wallet connected before because we cannot really buy NFTs due to the Chinese regulations. It's not because we don't want to, because we are not able to. We are not able to do that. So now the V2 version that you can like wallet connect. And after that, you can upload or buy every NFTs that you want. But this is like the test that we will have a stay up late for the upgrade this kind of website today. And you see, there's no art pieces, but we have like thousands of. We are upload today because there's both Chinese version and the English version, so it's a lot of paperwork to do. And for the Explorer, you can see, and we can choose the art. We have like subtitles like arts, virtual award, and collectibles, music, utility, sports. We just make it, you know, good to search. It's always like occur in the Chinese kind of shopping website. You know, we have like Taobao and Jingdong, this kind of thing. So we are very experienced at as this kind of thing. So and also the domain names, and we will also make the NFT version. And there's activities you can check, and there's help center, and contact us. So it's kind of different from, you know, like OpenSea, SuperRare, or this kind of website. And but we are learning from them from very good points. And I think this is our designer's cat or something. You know, he made this. So it's just for fun. You know, we are uploading tonight, so it's not there. So it's the very kind of this prototype of it, but we already made it. So this is it, and this is our like website, and you can join us Telegram here, and we can have a you know, we can have a talk. And this is our kind of ways, and this is the red and blue. And finally, we have we can have a download our wallet for like storage or making this staking in the future. That's it. I think that's it for the NFT console. And for the games that I have a prototype, but I cannot show. I cannot show up right now because it's a kind of secret. But sure. But that's it. And for the questions, for the questions that I will answer it for offline. I will answer it and send it to you, because it's quite difficult for me to understand the words. Yes.
No worries.
I'm sorry for that, because I always like read the Chinese version of it. I don't know the English version of it, but it's okay. I think I can make it. Yeah.
We will stay in touch, definitely. I will share the questions with you separately over mail, and we can take things ahead from there. That's not an issue at all, right? So thank you, Ken. This was really required for us to know what's happening behind the scenes, and we wish you and the Punk.Network team all the very best for the plans ahead, and let's build together, hopefully in the near future. So that's the plan.
No problem.
And let's hope things work well for us. So guys, do follow Ken on Twitter at KenYangPunk, and feel free to share your queries if we've missed out any, and even post this session, do get in touch with us. Right. So, thank you so much, Ken, again. With that, we come to a close of today's DotFriday event, and we're already excited to bring to you our next DotFriday. It's a DAO chapter, and that's happening on the 21st of January, so register right away. And for our developer buddies, do not miss out on our first boot camp on Substrate, Rust, and more. And that's happening this Wednesday, the coming Wednesday. That's the 22nd of December. And you've been a fantastic audience, guys. So thanks for keeping it interactive. Stay connected via all the various links you have ahead of you. And have a great evening. Happy Christmas season, and see you all in the new year. Bye.